Dimitri von Leuschner.
Who?
A man Vivian claims was staying with her about a year ago, possibly against his will.
There was a man staying against his will. His name wasn't Dimitri.
What was it?
Stefan Demira.
Now there you have it, folks. Stefan is possibly alive, and I already called this months ago, even up till yesterday's episode, because I don't believe for one bit that Stefano is deceased. Like, it doesn't make no sense. But anyways, before we get into that, let's talk about Philip and Gabby. So Philip was there on his laptop, and it was just so cute how he, was so afraid when Gabby comes in, and she was like, "What are you doing? Why did you frantically get up when I came in? Like, what are you hiding? Is that anything to do with your company competing against Gabby Chic? I heard that Brady left, so is Basic Black, are you gonna turn it into something to compete against my company?" So he's like, "No, it's nothing business, it's just work." And she's like, "Really? So why can't you tell me, what is it?" So she's trying to be sneaky about it, snooping around, and he's saying, "You know what, fine, it was a surprise Valentine gift thing I'm working on for you." So she's like, "What are you up to?" So it's like, "If I told you, it would be a surprise, but anyways, knowing you, it might not be up to your expectation." But she disagrees to agree on that, and he tells her that he wants to take her to a more tropical place, somewhere warmer. So he suggests that they go to a place in Miami. She said that she had bad memories there, and said, "Okay, we go somewhere else." And then she said, "You know what, forget that, let's make happy memories there." On another note, she asked Philip if he could, talk to Vivian, since, he's close to her. And he said that, I'm not really that close to her anymore because of, an incident. And he didn't tell her directly that it was about the whole forgery thing. But he said that he's not really close to Vivian anymore. And he decides to, he doesn't need that relationship in his life. And she understands. It's just that Rafe and Eli are in Alamania trying to find if Stefan is alive or not to provide closure. But she really wants to know for sure if that's true or not. Now, Liam made his sorry-ass way over to Abe's place. Abe doesn't want to see him, of course, and, he's apologizing for his role in Theo's kidnapping. He didn't know what they were up to. He heard that it was easy money, and he was desperate to hold on to his son, and that's why he took the job to just provide food and water, at the crypt, and also to move the sarcophagus. He didn't know that, what was really going on was the kidnapping. And Abe is like, "Come on, like, you haven't seen the news, you had to know what was going on later on." And he said, "I'm sorry about it, I should have done better, I made a stupid move." And he's trying to apologize, trying to do the right thing, to go down to the police station, you provide the photograph or the sketch. And Abe is like, "Don't try to be the hero here. Rafe only suggested that to you so that you don't get arrested, so I'm not really impressed." So he said, "I'm sorry, I know you were good to me, and that's the least I can really do. Even if Rafe didn't suggest that, I would have still done it for you and Theo. That's the least I can do." Paulina came home for, to just surprise Theo with some ice cream, and she could tell that Abe is not really in the laughing mood. And she asked him what's going on, and he said that he saw Liam. Liam came to his house, and she's like, "What is he really doing here?" So he said that he came to apologize for his role, and he's going to the police station to provide a sketch. And she said, "You know what, hold the ice cream, I got something to do." And Abe was like, Paulina, he wanted to stop her before she went, but when Paulina's mind is made up and she's all about protecting her family, she's gonna go after the person responsible. So she made her way down to the police station where Liam was given the sketch, and the sketch looked like the person that we're gonna see later in the recap talking to Vivian. So back to this now. Paulina is angry. She's upset at what Liam did to Abe, did to Theo. She mentions that they are her family. She is the mayor. He recognized that at first, and then she also said, "I'm Abe Carver's wife, and like, you mess with the wrong person." And make no remarks. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna make sure that you pay extensively for what you did to my family. So he's like, "I'm here now, I'm providing a sketch that could, bring the guy to justice, the guy that was behind the whole thing, and what else can I do?" So she's like, "A pound of flesh." So anyways, she asked the person who was conducting the sketch, like, what's the next step. So he said, we'll run it through the database. And she said, without fingerprints, without a photograph. He said, if this person has a criminal record, it's a good start. He did a good job identifying the person, a great description. So we start from there. And Liam was like, I hope this guy doesn't he gets caught first before he gets to me. Now, this scene was hilarious with Gwen and Dimitri. They're both serving each other, and the man, decided to do double purposes and serve them both their summons like how they were in nearby vicinity. So Gwen was looking at her people like, really, is he serious about, cleaning me out and not letting me get not even a dime of the fortune? Like, who does he think he is? And she's just throwing it about. Dimitri was at Leo's place earlier because remember Leo left, and Dimitri was delusional, thinking that Leo was going to come back, and he was in his bed, and he's like, come on Leo, you want to be with me and all of that. So he's there, and he realized that Leo's not really coming back. He sees the picture of Leo and Javi, and he flips it down, and he gets up and left with whatever dignity he has, and he's like, okay, Leo's not coming back, I need to go. So he comes back to the mansion. That's when the man also served him his paper as well, and he looked through it, and he's like, she wants $100,000 money spousal support, like over my dead body. So he comes in and they have a spat about it, and he's like, who do you think you are? And she's like, for all the pain and suffering, for all the hurt that you've caused me by cheating with not just a random but my best friend, like I'm owed every penny. And he's like, I had pity for you, I was sorry for you in the beginning, but it's not no longer there because you kidnapped me, you made me lose my fortune, my livelihood, the man that I love. And she's like, I didn't let you lose nothing, you caused it on yourself. And for what? Like, at the end of the day, like, you were the one that really betrayed me in the first place. Like, if you think that you're gonna go down and I'm not gonna get a red set, like, you gotta be kidding me. So he's saying like, look, I'm gonna make sure, because Rafe is incompetent, I'm gonna make sure go to Alemania. I'm going to solve this mystery myself. I was an agent before, and she was gloating at him, but he was definitely serious when he said to her that, look, I'm going to Alemania, I'm gonna trace these accounts, I'm gonna find out the place of where I was being held captive, and if I find your fingerprints on it, you're going down, you're not gonna get any part of my fortune, you're gonna be broke as a joke. Now, back in Alemania, Eli and Rafe came back to confront Vivian about the tablet that they found in one of the guest rooms. So she said, oh, it belonged to Dimitri. So they're like, Dimitri was here? So she said, yes, my, I guess she said that one of her relatives, Nicholas, brought him here, his cousin, and, she had to have him here, but at some point she just got tired of him being here because she doesn't like him, as they can tell. And as they already knew, and she said that she sent him back to Salem on a private jet, and that was it. Like, she doesn't know nothing about the tablet, maybe it's his own. And they just find it really hard to believe that she has no part in it, she's actually telling the truth. It just doesn't make no sense. So at some point they're discussing in a separate room, and they're saying that it doesn't make sense that Dimitri would want, all of the mirror fortune to himself, especially when he has all that von Lunchtime money. It doesn't make sense. And that he would cut out the rest of the Demiras, or Megan would be involved. Like, it really doesn't add up. So they investigate all the servants, and they were saying that they have no part in it. But come on now, don't you think that they would be loyal to Vivian? They would not say a word, Rafe and Eli. But then I found out that they have some little sense, because they did speak to a disgruntled employee that Hope and Bo happened to find that used to work for Vivian, and they were able to get some information, and we get into that at some point. So Vivian was there talking to one of her henchmen. I didn't even get his name, but he was the one that Liam correctly described at the police station, right? So he was the one who was really the big shots, really giving out the orders on behalf of Vivian. And Vivian was asking him, are you sure you tied up everything in Salem? He said, nobody saw me, nobody saw any trace of me, everything is all good. And she said, yeah, because I can't have any loose ends at all. So she tells him also about her elaborate plan to frame Dimitri, and she teamed up with Gwen, and Gwen was able to ship his clothes straight to Alemania, so it looks as if he was staying there, and also the tablet, just to frame him. And I'm saying, honestly, yes, Gwen didn't deserve what Dimitri did to her, but she's taking it too far, and I'm sick and tired of her saying, oh, I was hurt, I was betrayed, and I deserve everything. Honestly, you don't deserve anything at all, Gwen. Like, kind of lick your wounds and move on. You have this thing about you that you feel like you're entitled to anything from anybody because they hurt you and everything. Like, get therapy, move on, move forward. So Rafe and Eli did some digging, and as I said earlier, they did get to speak with a disgruntled ex-employer, Vivian. So it was this, lady, I don't remember her name, sounds very foreign to me. And she is basically talking about how she would get along with Vivian, or at this point don't get along with her. Right, she is very vindictive, and they definitely know that about her. And they asked her if the person that was staying in the guest room a year ago was Dimitri von Leuschner. So she said no, don't recall of that name, but I do know that Stefan Demir, her son, was there. And they were like, Stefan was there, was he held against his will? So she said yes, but not in like a prisoner way. He was allowed to go around the estate, but somebody had to be keeping an eye on him. And she felt bad for him because he wanted to get back to his wife, and he knew that Vivian does not like him with Gabby. That's why he was captured, taken from Salem. So Rafe was like, wow, so Stefan didn't just leave like that. Stefan really wanted to stay in Salem and really wanted to be with Gabby. So I'm saying, wow, this definitely complicates things a lot, because if Stefan is really alive, because they did tell her that Stefan was deceased since October, and she didn't know about that because she knew him to be a nice person, that he wanted to be back home, be back with his wife. So I'm just saying, if let's say Stefan is really alive, and I do believe Stefan is alive, then what's it gonna be for Gabby and Philip? Maybe they're gonna break up because Philip finds out about Gabby's secret, and then Gabby's heartbroken, and then she ends up back with her real love of her life. I mean, I can be here for that, but I do like her and Philip. They're refreshing, they're cute, they're quirky. He brings out a lot in her. He's funny. I mean, I like them together. But what do you guys think? Comment below your thoughts on today's episode. Let me know. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow.